Hey, I'm Warren Sprouse. This is the Bible Forum. We're here every Sunday night from 8 to 10 p.m. Love for you to join us. You can do that live right here at thebibleforum.net. Tonight I want to talk to you about this whole kerfluffle that's going on around Jeff Sessions and the Russian ambassador. Apparently our Attorney General is being hounded by liberals who insist he met with the Russians during the recent campaign season. Sessions was often said to be a surrogate for Trump. He's now recused himself from any handling of this particular case as it works its way through the judicial system. The Donald is furious with Sessions. The president is upset that he gave in. You're not going to see this president ever giving in to something like this. Well, believe it or not, there's a real, or at least a reason that Jeff Sessions met with the Russian representatives. And it wasn't to get Vladimir Putin in order to get to him, in order to suggest signing our country over to him. It turns out that Senator Sessions was sent by then President Obama. Yeah. Fox News is reporting we now have the details on Jeff Sessions' first meeting with the Russian ambassador in 2016. Turns out the senator spoke to the Russian ambassador on the invitation of the Obama administration. The first came at a conference on global partners in diplomacy, where Sessions was the keynote speaker. Sponsored by the United States State Department, the Heritage Foundation, and several other organizations, the meeting was held in Cleveland during the Republican National Convention. The conference was an educational program for ambassadors invited by the Obama State Department to observe the convention. The Obama State Department handled all of the coordination with the ambassadors and their staff, of which there were about 100 at this conference. Apparently, after Sessions finished speaking, a small group of ambassadors, including the Russian ambassador, approached the senator as he left the stage, thanking him for his remarks. According to this report, that's the first meeting. And it's hardly an occasion, much less a venue, in which a conspiracy to interfere with the November election could be hatched. And as the piece notes, the meeting was set up by the Obama State Department officials. Are these the same Obama State Department officials who have been behind every leak out of the Trump White House? Is this why the current Russian ambassador, Sergei Kislyak, was invited and seen sitting with Democrats during Trump's first address to Congress last week? Got pictures of it. What is billed as the, quote, unofficial Twitter feed of Tennessee Republicans, end of quote, supplied a picture of Sergei enjoying himself with a covey of Democrats at this event. Now there are pictures of Pelosi's 2010 meetings with Russian ambassadors, and Schumer too. And this weekend we were treated to the whole idea of wiretaps in Trump Tower by the Obama White House or minions thereof. Bernie Sanders supporter, a journalist by the name of Juan Thompson, was recently arrested by the FBI just this past week for fabricating news and making terroristic threats to at least 8 Jewish community centers. You've heard about those. He wasn't the only one doing it. But there's been a rash of these Jewish community centers and cemeteries around the country. This was a man who was working for a newspaper, or some kind of a publication called the Gawker. It's now gone, but that's who he was working for. He's been arrested by the FBI for making bomb threats to Jewish community centers in New York and all around the country, as well as the Anti-Defamation League. What's going on? Well, what's going on is there's a battle for control, not only of the United States, but of our minds. Orwellian. This effort is focused on creating reality out of nothing other than the oft-repeated suggestion that Trump is immoral or unfit for office. Why? So the leftists can continue moving us and the world into a global cabal where all citizens are equal except the elite. Those that are leaders of the world, who are wealthy beyond imagination. A world divided is a world out of control. A world united under the control of these globalists is a decent world, a structured world, one that people would be happy to live in. Is all of this what we see as we read between the lines in the book of the Revelation of Jesus Christ in the New Testament? When a Western king is sent to bring peace to Israel in the midst of terrible conflagration, when there is a Western global system seeking to dominate the world, a Savior who rides in on a white horse, that's the imagery we're given, accompanied by 10 other kings. What are the 10 others doing? I think the 10 others are responsible for 10 other areas of the country, of the world. I think they've divided up, whether it's geographically or in terms of, the various processes, the finances, the military, the governments, or whatever it might be, the newspaper, things of that nature. I don't know. But we're watching all of these things gathering steam on a global level. And the Bible talked about this over 2,000 years ago. You try writing a book that will be accurate 2,000 years from now in this kind of detail. But pay attention. This thing's going to get a lot more raucous before it gets back under control. And the Democrats, or liberal Democrats, are going to fight all they can until there's no place to go with it. And then they'll just pretend it never happened while they pursue 5 other things. And the goal is to keep the whole administration in turmoil. The Donald is upset with Jeff Sessions for recusing himself. The Donald would fight it, because that's the only way you can handle a bully. You cannot pacify a bully. You have to knock him down.